Time for our first official level, Into the Machine. Before we start, I want to say that you can choose the levels in any order you want. So, Into the Machine could be your second, third, or even seventh level. I'm just talking about the levels in the order I recorded them in. Anyway, Into the Machine is a simple level. You get introduced to furnaces that you can slam shut by jumping and attacking. As you jump and climb through the level, while collecting bottles, you will eventually reach what I think is the hardest part of the level, jumping on top of the furnace doors. When I first played this game, and a few times after that, I hated getting all the bottles in this level for this portion alone. I would always fall down before collecting all the bottles, which sucks if that happens because you can't go back and collect them. You need to restart the level if you miss any of the hanging bottles in the area. I'm a little surprised that this time I got through this section and got all the hanging bottles on my first try, even though it's been a very long time since I played Sly 1. The next section is all about patience. You have to navigate through the level while avoiding electric fans. The first portion, in my opinion, can be more difficult than the second portion because you can't see the fans above you in the first portion, while you can see the fans below you in the second portion. Once you get past the fans, you're greeted with jumping on the furnace doors again. Only this time, there are lasers in the way. These lasers don't really increase the difficulty since you can easily jump over them, but it does make this section a little more stressful if you accidentally hit one of them. Next you go to the actual machine portion of the level. This area is pretty open for a level in Sly 1, and I can see some people not knowing where to go at first. Once you have all the bottles, you can open the second vault and receive the Raccoon Roll power-up. This just allows you to roll into a ball. It is faster than running, but if you need to turn, it is very stiff, and you lose a lot of momentum when doing that. This is helpful in trying to complete the levels quickly. I'll talk about why that's important after the boss fight of Tide of Terror. This rolling power-up is pretty good, but I rarely use it. Actually, most of the power-ups you get from the vaults are just if you want to be fancy with your movement. You don't need any of them to complete the game. Back to the level. We grab a hook that destroys the rotation of the machine, and we slam the furnace doors down to get to the center. I actually had a glitch happen here one time that I couldn't replicate. But what happened was I shut one of the doors down while I was in the way of it closing, and it sent me into the furnace where a black abyss appeared and I died from falling. It was so strange, and I'm sad I couldn't replicate it here. At the end of this section, we arrive at the end of the level where I'm showing off a kind of glitch that I think is funny. If you use your dive move to get the key, Sly will finish his recovering animation and then do the animation for getting the key. This sometimes allows you to stand on nothing while you get the key. If you do this over water, you hear a splash sound while the game is loading back to the overworld. I just find that completely hilarious, and I do it every chance I get. Overall, this level is pretty basic, and shows the player more basic controls that they will use throughout the game. I think jumping on the furnace doors is a little difficult for this early on, but the rest of the level is good to ease the player into the game.